Hello, save me typing everything. So, for example, let's go customize. Let's grab something that I've not set. This tom, for example, once we grab it, it's got the line around it. We can take any of the other toms from any of the other kits and switch that out. So they go from a plexi kit, different tom. But the ridiculous bit is if I now go edit elements, I can break down the top layer, the how it's constructed, like what kind of point and material, bottom layer, the tuning of it, the dampening, the width, diameter. It's just ridiculous. You can do that each drum. So you can just get lost in it for hours, which is what I was doing. So I figured I may as well just go live with it. And then you can do like tom group editing. Look, so I can do it per individual tom, or like I can do them all as a group and set them up so they're all tuned together, which just a nice little thought. But oh man, it's just ridiculous. So like, and that's individual for that plexi drum. So like if I grab the studio tom, for example, and now do edit element, boom, it's completely different for the studio tom. It's just insane the detail you can go in. The reason I've got this massive kit up is so I can have two different kick drums and get lots out of it and layer them up and things like that, because you can start with default kits as well. And it applies for the cymbals. The cymbals you can't switch out as much, but you can do a fair bit with them. Like the amount I've got in is just ridiculous. So let's take him. We can switch them out between two different types, but then we can also tweak them and design them to suit that kit and tune it to the track. It's just ridiculous the detail you can go into. It's probably the longest I've ever sat with a drum plugin and just been sort of blown away by how much you can do with it. So you mentioned the double kick thing, right? If I grab, what one is this? So I can go back to it, the reference drum kick, and we do like edit element on that. So you can completely tweak up the kit as much as you want, but you can also then tweak up your play style and things like the kick. So I can change the plastic wood kind of beater. I can change if it's heel up, heel down. It's just stupid the detail you can go into. So I've got two kicks. I could have like one played with the heel up or with the wooden beater, and then have the same kick but just change the beater, so I can really quickly switch between the two. Which again is just ridiculous. And then like I can have a separate room balance between each individual drum as well. So if for whatever reason I want everything to be saturated beyond belief apart from my kick drums, I can push everything else in and just take the kicks out, have them nice and clean for the music I create. Yes, exactly. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Like even down to the playstyle. So the snare gets even more ridiculous than that. So let's go customize, get rid of element. If we go to my snare, which I'm loving the snare I've built, just beastly. Going to playstyle on that. So you can, it takes into account like whether you'd be using the left or right stick. You can have it so one hand plays with a no tip, one's a nylon tip, or one's a wooden tip. You can then give where that person would hit necessarily on the snare. So like right hand, they might bring the right hand right here near the rim, and the left hand might always hit somewhere around the middle. And then I can make it so the right hand, they tend to play with the nylon instead. And it adjusts the sound and play style completely dependent to where that hit would be coming from, in what sort of order. So like say I've got a cymbal going on the right hand side, it's never going to trigger the right stick, it will trigger the left stick because it knows the right hand's in use. Just insane, and that's what's giving it that really realistic feel. And it's just outrageously detailed, and usually I can just throw a drum break in that I've sampled in it, it's all good. But now I'm going to lose days and days inside this thing. Oh, and check this out as well. If we go into customize, depending where you hit the drum, it will give a different sound for you. So if I like click on the rim, get a rim shot, click right in the middle, nice big bangy snare shot. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, so there's all kinds of presets. I just saved this one and made it my own thing, but since a bunch of you are on here, let's just duplicate it and I'll show you what it's like starting from default. It takes a while to load. It loads a bunch of different algorithms. So if we take a fresh one here, and hopefully that's still on the screen. So start out in Modo. You've got like, I think, 10 different kits you can start with, and it builds them around a particular era. So if I was to grab Studio, it takes a minute, it loads all the algorithms for the Studio kit, and then we can demo that kit. But we can go like with the Black Oyster, and again changes all of the algorithms. So none of the drums are sampled, they're all synth based. So once you've got the general vibe you're after, then we can go customize and we start building our own thing. Like each one's got its performance space and all sorts. So if we go like room, we can switch out where it's being played, changes the sound drastically as well. That's a bit excessive. So stick it in like mid studio. Now on this kit, it's all pretty cool sounding, but I don't like that kick. It's really like great for the Beatle. Yeah, I chose it because you're a complete scouser and you might want the Beatles kit. So it's really thuddy, 60 sound, not going to suit what I need. So let's customize, grab the kick drum. Let's take, I quite like that plexi one, I think. Nah, sod that. Take the reference. That's better. Loads more punchy, but I still want it to be a bit more punchy, so we just edit element. We can potentially tune it up. Where are you on my keyboard? There. So, what should we do? There you go, and within a couple of seconds really I've got a kit more suitable to what I'm after. And what we could do, bring some of these patterns down that I was messing around with on the kit before. Let's duplicate them, mute the old one, let's have a listen to if they work with said new kit that we just made. There you go, and then we can just copy pretty much whatever style we want or whatever performance we want. Which is honestly dangerous. It's so much easier to just bring a break in and chop it up and pitch the bits up for an intro. But with this I could literally build my own drum kit that I use all the time that's pre-mixed and ready to rock. And I can get any kind of performance out of it. If I want to suddenly make everything rim shots on the snare, I mean I can go and do that. I can make it so it plays right by the edge. In fact, let's try that out. So play style, bring everything in here. Don't know if that's going to trigger rim shot or not. Let's find out. insane. I don't know if that pedal and stuff happens in playstyle as well. Let's have a look. Get rid of you and that one. No, that would have been cool. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's like someone's there playing the kit and like the cymbals still rattling after you've hit it. It's a nice little touch. Super, super good, man. Going back to what I was doing originally before you distracted me massively, you can also mix each one individually, and you've got sends for the room and the overheads, which is what I was tweaking before. So like I adjust the snare on the go with EQing. Well, that is kind of difficult to tweak an EQ when you can like make this kind of ridiculous variation in performance. So you're going to have to do it sort of per track, or maybe even like per instance. Or just find something that always works. And what I was looking to do was see if we can get the SSL over on the master for the whole thing. So let's just take this last section. And let's have not just the snare. There you go, now we've got a nice little pumpy SSL compressor going on in there. And they're all the plugins that you can buy from IK anyway. There's not obviously all of them in here, but you've got a good amount. And 4 slots I think is enough to work with. So like we could even be dead naughty and do like an LA2A in front of it and give it a double lift. Jesus! That's why we've got a limiter on. So that's going to take it back just about 1 dB. All good, man. I will see you probably on Thursday. Have a good day, dude. Any of you watching got questions, do just give us a shout. I am about to see if I can bounce each drum out individually, so I can maybe get stems for, or sorry, not necessarily stems, but multi-tracks out of this curious if it's possible, so we're going to have a little look at that. So we do new instrument, multi-tool, let's say 16 parts probably. Let's see. Oh, it absolutely slays the Logic drummer. I mean, Logic drummer's probably got better performances in it. These are all just like pre-programmed MIDI loops. You can't tweak them as much, but the ability for what you can do with the sounds is just way above and beyond. Okay, so it's just created 16 versions on instrument 3. That's not quite what we were after, Logic, but so can you do multi-out? Doesn't look like it, does it? That supports 5.1, so I don't know why we wouldn't have multi-out. Don't want you, mute you for a minute. Let's have that loop there. Right, so they're all outputting the same thing. The drum kits on it are really, really nice. It's, for me, it's the tweakability that you can make it your own kind of kit. Right, these all say master at the bottom, so we must be able to send them out. There we go. Add bus 1, door 3 to 4. Okay. So what does that give us? Right, they still go to everything, even though it's only going out on 1. So if we make a bus, that's not going to do it for us either. That gives us a send, doesn't it? That's a bus 1. And that still goes out to everything. Okay. Well, this must be possible because we've got all the routing options. Just figuring it out. So let's say door 5 to 6. Let's make this my snare test. We set your input. Will that help us out? Probably not, knowing Logic. Go away. Okay, maybe I've done this wrong. Let's start from step 1 again. Any of you know how to get multi-out on it, do give us a shout, but I haven't got a clue for this particular one. So yeah, multi-timbal, it'd be in 16 parts. And then make it 4 so we haven't got a bunch of tracks we don't need. Audio output, no, output doesn't matter. Okay, that might have done it for us. Oh, no, I've got no audio out, which is interesting. Ah, so it's automatically set outputs. Output, stereo output. Go into those. Okay, that looks like it's automatically done it. Yeah, I know what you mean about the plus in Logic Mixer, but when we've set it up like this, it's not giving us the ability to set them up like that. We've got the individual tracks. Let's do view all, the free, so there we go. That's going to be how we do it. Well, that's only going to let us adjust the balance. It's split into different groups. Alright, we'll have to have a play and figure that out another time, but it's nice to know it's possible, which means if I do breaks, I don't have to work on them all like this. I can bounce them out separately for someone else. Well guys, I'm going to have to break away in a couple of minutes. If anyone's got any questions about the plugin before I do, give us a quick shout in chat. And I'm going to get away shortly. I'll be putting a video together about this, so if you've got any questions there that I can't answer before I get away, I'll throw them in the video for you. Alright, I've got to break away, guys. If you want to see a little bit more of this, I'll be putting a video together, so just sub on the channel and you'll get a notification when it pops up. And we'll see what else we can do with it, but at the moment I'm pretty blown away about the detail you can really go into and tweak your drums. If you guys are following me for the fact that I do D&B, I'll probably put a free breaks kit of these out as well, so you can come grab that from Warrior Sound. See you guys later, have a good day.